The word for you today, July 8th, Saturday. Hope you're having a good weekend. It says the right people and the right environment. Luke chapter 8, verse 54. But he took her by the hand and said, "My child, get up." What's happening here? Well, if you remember, Jairus was a synagogue ruler. He came to Jesus and begged Jesus to come and heal his daughter who was close to death. Jesus went. On the way, they encountered a woman who'd had an issue of blood. She'd suffered for 12 years, and Jesus took time to heal her. When they got to Jairus' home with his daughter had died. The paid mourners were there, crying and wailing. Jesus walked in and said, "Why are you hollering? The girl is not dead, she's only asleep." They laughed at him, told him he was crazy. Jesus told them to leave. They didn't want to. Jesus told them to leave. They finally got him out of there. The disciples got him out of there. Then Jesus took the parents, Peter, James, and John, with him into the girl's room. Just those people. Jesus went over to her, took her by the hand, told her to get up. At once she arose. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the parents and the awe and the relief and the joy that they felt? What can we learn from this story? It's a beautiful story. There's a lot of things we can learn. Here's some of them. Any healing, physical or spiritual, begins with Jesus. We can do what we can do, but the healing takes place from Jesus. The second thing, God's timing is always best, even if we don't understand it. Wouldn't it have been easier if the daughter had never died? Maybe she's just sick, real sick, but she hadn't died, and would have saved the parents that turmoil and that heartbreak of losing their daughter. So why did God let her die and then came and healed her, brought her back from the dead? He had his reasons. The third thing, look to Jesus for truth and hope. Everyone said the girl was dead. The parents, the mourners, the religious leaders. You know, our world says a lot of things these days. A lot of things in opposition. Jesus says, no, the girl is not dead. She's only sleeping. Jesus says today that in our world, he speaks truth. But our world has some crazy things to say. So who are we going to believe? We're going to believe what other people say. We're going to believe what Jesus says. And the fourth thing, spend time with those who trust in Jesus. Notice that Jesus had everybody leave. He didn't have them just stick around to watch. He had them get out of there. Why? They weren't conducive to a good environment. They weren't helping. They had no faith. Get out of here. Get away. He took the parents who were hoping against hope. Took the disciples who knew Jesus could do anything, but they'd not seen him do this before. If we spend time with people whose faith is strong, that will build us up. If we spend time with people who have no faith, it will pull us down. You say, but yeah, I want to help them. Great, that's good. Find ways to help them, but spend the majority of your time with people that are going to build you up. Yes, you can go and spend time with others, and that's good. We need to. How else can we be a light unless we go places where there is no light? But spend time with people whose faith is strong to help build you up. You know, faith. The Bible says faith. Without faith it is impossible to please God. But to get into a situation where we have to have faith, it's hard. It's hard. On Monday morning, February 2008, every sports page in the world wrote about the New York Giants football team who had just defeated the New England Patriots, who had been undefeated up to that time. They beat them in the Super Bowl. Big story. All kinds of stories being written. And during an interview, a boy who was no more than 8 or 9 years old was handed a microphone, and he made a beeline toward Giants coach Tom Coughlin, who, spotting the junior inquisitor, the young boy, leaned over in an almost grandfatherly fashion and tenderly attended to his question. Here's what the boy asked. "I hear you've been a lot nicer this year," said the child. "Who put you up to that?" said the Giants coach, to gales of laughter. The boy said, "I hear you've been a lot nicer this year." The coach said, "Okay, who put you up to that?" And everybody started laughing. Well, see, just the year before, this team that won the Super Bowl, the year before they were only 8-8. They won 8 and lost 8. And after that season, Tom Coughlin, the coach, met with his veteran players. He asked for their input. They told him that he yelled too much, communicated too little, listened barely at all. Veteran player Michael Strahan caused the change in his coach a transformation. Sometimes I barely recognized him. Sometimes I didn't even recognize who he was. Tom Coughlin spent 3 years trying to change his players, so he decided to change himself. And that's what changed his players. That's what made them Super Bowl champs. The right people and the right environment. To be the right people, we got to be led by the right person. That right person is Jesus. The right environment is being around other people who follow Jesus. So if you want to see great things happen in your life, Jesus has got to be involved. He's part of the right people and the right environment. So let me ask you, who are you spending time with? I hope you're spending time with people who don't know Jesus so you can be a witness to them. But there's got to be times when you're around others who believe in Jesus, who recognize who he is and his power, so that they can build you up, you can build them up. And then together you can see what God is going to do. Have a good day.